call this meeting of the Oskaloosa City Council to order. Today is Monday, July 17th. We start with the invocation. If Lifehouse Community Church is here. Nope. Okay. If not, would you please pray with me? Heavenly Father, as we assemble here tonight, we're blessed to be meeting together. We ask for your guidance and blessing on our state and national leaders. Please bless them with a spirit of grace and cooperation as they work through many challenges. And tonight, we're here to do city business. We'll be paying routine expenses, doing routine approvals of licenses and permits. In addition, we'll be scheduling public hearings, accepting work done to various facilities and amenities, and consider a site plan for a large entertainment venue. These are all important considerations for the long-term future of our city. So we ask that you look down on those who have felt you're called to be in attendance. For the council members and staff, please bless us with quiet and considerate attitudes, well thought out deliberations, and ultimately decisions that are best for all concerned. We thank you for those in the audience and watching the broadcasts, the leaders of businesses and organizations who have the vision and commitment to help our city, the countless volunteers who are motivated to help, and informed citizens who have given us the privilege of their trust and support. Tonight, we assemble to combine the talents you have given us for the benefit of Oskaloosa. May the words of our mouths and the meditation of our hearts be acceptable in your sight. Amen.
Amen.
Would you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Almond.
Here.
Burnett.
Here.
Caligari.
Here.
Comfort. Drost.
Here.
Hermson. Ocean. Here.
Okay, thank you. First item we have is the opportunity for community comments. This item is reserved to receive comments from the community for concerns whether or not they're included in the current agenda. The community is encouraged to speak before the mayor and city council, asked to keep statements brief, time limited to no more than 3 minutes. Any questions are to be asked of the city staff, council members, or the mayor prior to speaking to the full council, so concerns can be properly researched and answered away from the meeting. Comments are to be directed to the mayor and city council only. Is there anyone who would like to speak tonight?
I'm Alicia Helm of Oskaloosa, and I got bored today, so I went over the city manager's job description this afternoon. It clearly states they must reside in the city limits. I hear that she only lives here a few days a week and still has another home, so she technically doesn't live here full time. Do you pay her for her mileage? Because 106 miles is a long time to drive for commute for work. Why do we not require them to live full time in the city limits? What kind of image does that send for the city? $150,000 is a lot of money to pay. I googled the median pay for the city manager of a city in Iowa, and it was $106,000. She is definitely making above and beyond that and doesn't have to live here full time, let alone work here full time. We had a water main break in February, and she was not the first person on the scene, which she should have been. She wasn't here right away. She was at home. This town had no clue what was going on for the longest of times. We need transparency from not just the city manager, but the council as well. We the people take a serious issue with how this council and city manager act. Do I know what it's like to be in your seats? Heck no. But I do know that a lot of people agree with me in how the city and council and manager acts, and we would like our voices to be heard. It's time for a change in this council, and I'm encouraging people to make their voices heard. Whether it's to sign the petition that I have started, speak up at the council meeting, or get out and vote this November. It's time we the people stand up and let our voices be heard loud and clear, because clearly they're not.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to speak tonight?
Hi there. I'm Ross Viehmeyer with Evolve Hospitality. I guess I'd just like to introduce myself to the council and say thank you for the opportunity. We have a large development outside of town right next to the Fairfield Marriott by Marriott Hotel, which we also own and operate. And we're looking forward to the opportunity and hope to break ground sometime this fall and ultimately open next year. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Ross.
you. Is there anyone else who would like to speak tonight?
Hello, my name is Sarah Hall. I have lived in Oskaloosa for almost 2 years now. I just wanted actually to give a little bit of the opposite vibe of the first speaker. I'm a really big fan of the road changes that I've seen since I've lived here. So very appreciative of that happening and also how quickly and efficiently it happened. It did not disrupt my commute or my workday in any way, which was very convenient. And the one time it did, it was 3 minutes. So I really have no complaints at all. Alternatively to the water main break, I was out of town when that happened. Luckily, weirdly enough, I've been out of town every time something has happened with the water. But I have always received a text message from the county and was easily able to find information online about what was going on and felt very well informed throughout the process. And because I was out of town, didn't really have to deal with it anyways, but it was nice to know the information. And then also just, I have moved here from a very large city, so there are pros and cons of moving to a small town after that, but I've always felt like I could actually come to all the city council meetings, get to understand how y'all make your decisions, and then also approach you individually, which has been very nice, and make me feel like I'm actually a part of something, which has been very good for me living in a small town. So thank you all very much.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you. Thanks, Sarah. Anyone else care to speak tonight? Okay, seeing none, moving on. This gets us to the next step is the consent agenda. We have before us, there were a few items that I wanted to call out. Items G, which is to consider a resolution scheduling a public hearing. It's on August 21st, levying a special assessment against private property for weed cutting. Item H is a resolution scheduling a public hearing on August 7th. That has to do with zoning and an associated zoning map. Item I, which is a resolution setting a public hearing for August 21st, levying a special assessment for a nuisance abatement at 502 North Market. And item J, which is a resolution setting the date for a public hearing on charges of selling tobacco to a minor. That's going to be on August 21st of 2023. All these items are routine in nature and they're generally acted on in a single motion. Do we have a motion of support?
So move. Second.
Okay, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ocean,
Yes.
Almond,
Yes.
Burnett,
Yes.
Caligiuri,
Yes.
Drost,
Yes.
Okay, that passes. Getting into the regular agenda is the code enforcement report for the quarter. Let's see. Chief? Yeah.
Okay, second quarter, April 1st through June 30th. We'll start with reading the goal of the program. Obviously to encourage private property owners to maintain their properties within established community standards and to uphold the City Council's directive to eliminate nuisance conditions that negatively affect community appeal, reduce community pride, and threaten to reduce property values. Moving along, 127 cases in the quarter. So far, 118 of those have been closed. So we've got 9 that we're still working on. Actually, 2 of those have been closed that I'll refer to later at the end of my presentation. The breakdown of the events were obviously no dilapidated brush piles and trees. There were 2. Hard surface parking, inoperable vehicles, there were 4, with 3 of those being closed. Garbage and junk, there were 30, with 27 of those being closed. Grass, obviously no snow. We had 89 for grass and weeds, 84 of those have been closed. No illegal burning for the total of 127 with 118 that are closed at this time. So moving on, I want to give you a couple of examples. I believe we have 3 of the things that we conducted as far as abatements and one that the property owner actually took care of themselves. The first one at 401 South 3rd. This was one that Zach and I were driving by and noticed, and we put the green tag on the property for the large amount of debris, around the yard area. Within the 3-day period, they had cleaned it up by themselves. So obviously that is closed, and those are the ones we want where we don't have to move forward with anything on our end, but they're taking care of those themselves. The second one, 806 North H, we did end up having to abate this, which means we went through the process of dropping a green tag, letting them know what our expectations were, giving them 3 days. They did not at that time take care of it. Then we wrote them a certified letter, which gave them 2 weeks. After that, we did make contact with the lady because we had tried before. We couldn't get contact with her. We did get contact with her after the 2 weeks had expired to let her know we had ordered the emergency abatement. She obviously wanted to know when that was going to happen. We couldn't tell her. It was up to the trash company, but you can see the before and after pictures after the abatement. When we left that one, there were still some items outside that she just emphatically said, I do not want to get rid of. And we're, considerate to that. We did tell her, hey, we're going to give you 2 weeks. You got to get those things inside, out of the elements. We did go by 2 weeks later, and they were the same. 2 weeks or 3 weeks have been passed since then. We drove by today, and unfortunately, we have ordered another emergency abatement for tomorrow. So the trash company can't get there tomorrow, so we will be, dealing with that again tomorrow. The next one, the B Avenue Apartments, at the very, I believe, west end of B. Just the certain areas of the property that they mow each year, and this is the second year in a row that I can remember that we've had to contact them just to give them that, hey, we need to mow this too. And it did take a little while this year, but you can see that they did take care of that themselves within a 2-week period. So
That changed hands, didn't it? Okay, yeah.
that's the 3 that we had to report on as far as that goes. Do you have the 2 that are ready? So this one on 2nd Avenue West. If you look at the top picture there with the trash can, that's a driveway.
I know where
this house since I started in March of last year. And you can see the overgrown around the house. You can see his truck in the picture in the bottom parked in the right of way. So that was an issue, parking, hard surface parking. We definitely don't want them on the right of way. We gave him a green tag, gave him 2 weeks notice. Nothing, we could never make contact with this person. This year rolled around, and if you look at the picture on the right there, the backyard, they mow the front yard and they don't mow the backyard. It's like nobody sees my backyard. Well, I saw the backyard. So we gave them a lot of time to get the backyard mowed. Didn't happen, so we talked with Matt with the street department, and now you can see the difference. He's actually parking his truck in the driveway now. I think we probably, added value to the property by what we did.
You're welcome.
Backyard probably grew by 50% after the cleanup, so that's the one. This is one of them that's still, according to the quarterly report, closed or open, but it is now closed. And then the next one that we have is 606 North 3rd. This is a top, the left picture is the backyard. And I was taking that from the corner of the backyard facing toward the alley. And then the next picture, after Matt, his crew came through, is from the opposite corner looking to where I took the picture, and it's all been cleared out. So once again, the process, it is an abandoned house. It's now going to have to be registered. No communication with the property owner of any sorts, so we had to do the emergency abatement. Matt, his crew have been absolutely phenomenal to work with this year as far as getting the equipment needed, and you can see there was some pretty heavy equipment that needed to be used on some of those. So we're making headway every time. There's a lot more to do. Zach's doing a good job, and we're looking forward to the new software that we're going to be starting up here with Cloud Permanent with Alex and Candy's help, because we're, obviously going to be able to do this stuff right on site, on scene with, the tablets and the printer and the vehicles. It's just going to, it'll automatically download to the computers at the station. So we're excited to get going there. So do you have any questions for me?
Kudos to the street department, Matt, because I know you guys have a lot going on. So I know that's a lot of work. I've seen them over there working. So I know they got other things to do, but they did a great job.
So kudos, 93% success rate. That's pretty good in anybody's book, I think. So kudos to everybody. I mean, think about it. Every single one of those that you did was another time that you made Oskaloosa look better. That was spectacular, guys. So sincerely, thank you. Appreciate it.
And we don't, I mean, there's a lot of compliance with the people.
Yeah.
A lot of those.
And that's
that
great.
go And the people take care of
They just need
themselves.
a reminder, right? So it's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes.
Go ahead.
So there were a couple of cases where you weren't able to contact with the owner and ended up having to go in anyway. Is there a typical situation like, where the person's always at work, or the person is elderly, or some other thing where they're not actually at the house? I always kind of wonder, how can that be that we can't contact
There
them?
very well may be those instances, but when we drop that green tag, it's got a phone number on it.
Mhm.
And we say, do not be afraid to reach out to us. When we send that certified letter, it's letterhead with the phone number on there. They have the ability to reach out to us. And, when we've expended that much time and effort and we don't want to do the abatements, that's not what we're about, but unfortunately, sometimes we have to.
Yep. Yep. So in the case of the B Avenue West property, is that the second time that we've had to go in and mow? Is that right?
The apartments.
Yeah, the apartment one where there was kind of hit and miss.
We did not have to do that. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
They did that.
Yep, I'm sorry.
But
Okay.
it is the second year in a row we've had to contact them.
Okay.
I think that they
Okay.
do the main area, but they leave those side areas for some reason. And then behind the apartments is a big open field.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I understand they own that property, and it's terrible.
And that
for them.
changed hands, correct?
What's
And
that?
that just changed hands not too long ago. How long ago was that changed hands?
It's been almost a year.
Okay, so
Right,
I'm just
okay.
wondering, I don't know that they contract that mowing out like we do at my work. So I'm just wondering if it's when they contract that mowing out, if maybe those people aren't aware of that back, you know what I'm saying, Chief? Because I know that I did a lot of notice, I know that changed hands just recently,
There's
so.
no way somebody's getting
Yeah.
any kind of money
Yeah.
in there coming out without going to the chiropractor.
Yeah, no, I know, yeah, I'm there a lot, yeah, I
Okay.
agree.
Lisa,
For the
I'm
bees.
sorry, you-
No, and that's fine. I was just thinking, so when we call, we don't assess any kind of fine. I mean, we're involved with it. We spend our time on it, but we don't assess any kind of a fine just for that reminder.
Yeah.
Okay.
So very good on what we can see in a neighborhood. Lately, my two complaints in my own neighborhood, and I live 2 blocks from the hospital, is the noise. You don't do the noise ordinance or anything like that. I mean, I have, just as I was leaving, I've got a guy working on a car. It's so loud, you can't hear. And then I've got dogs howling at midnight. I mean, I've got the air on, so I don't have to hear, and I still...
Dogs
You know.
is PD.
Well, there is an ordinance.
So I didn't know what to do on, so who does noise ordinance? Okay. Because Dave and I have had this talk just as neighbors walking in the neighborhood.
So the noise ordinance
Sound speed.
generally for vehicles and stereos is 100 feet. It shouldn't be audible outside of 100 feet. 100 feet can carry pretty good in the city. But if it's your next door neighbors and you can hear it, it's probably too loud. But there's a long process to actually cite that. We don't have that as a general infraction. We would have to actually cite a summons for something like
Yeah,
that.
and it's just
So
sort of.
it can be taken care of if you give us
Okay,
the.
but it is that quality of life.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
same with the.
And dogs as well.
Well, and the dogs, I couldn't tell for the longest time if they were hurt or not, and I've had to explain to kids, you can't just scream because you want to scream. I feel as a neighbor, are you hurt? Are you this?
How do you handle dog barking? Just curious. I had somebody ask and I didn't know the answer.
Yeah.
Sure. So the general way that we handle that is if we can go by and hear it, then we'll make the complaint. Usually we knock on the door and that takes care of the
Yeah.
issue. But if it's a non-stop chronic complaint, then we will summons them with a dog barking violation. It's just a normal summons like we would do for.
Because I just talked to you about this, my couple houses down from me, you can do it anonymously, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, because my neighbor he had new neighbors, he didn't want to offend anybody or start
Right,
on the wrong
right.
foot.
And we don't necessarily, if you were to call us and say, this is what's happening, and if we can't hear it, we don't want to necessarily cite based on that anyway. We want us to be the complainant.
Right.
So if it's that much of a problem, we should be able to hear it as
Right.
well, generally.
I'll let Dave make the complaint.
Thank
Nope.
you, Chief, thanks.
Thank you very much. Okay, item B. This is to consider a resolution authorizing pay application number 3 It's in the amount of $3,201.20 to Jetco Incorporated, and also accepting the final completion of the Northeast Wastewater Treatment Plant electrical improvements project. So they've completed the final punch list for the plant, and it involved repairs and upgrades to the PLC control hardware, computer workstations, wireless network equipment, the blower controls, and other electrical equipment at the Northeast Wastewater Treatment Facility. Project was accepted by the City Council as substantially completed on October 4th of 2021, and the final punch list items are now complete. Final contract amount of the project is $64,024, and that's unchanged from the amount awarded at the May 18th, 2020 council meeting. And so the final payment, $3,201.20, will release the remaining retainage and accept final completion of the project. The breakdown is in our packet. Do we have a motion of support?
So moved.
Okay.
Any discussion on this?
I'm guessing Sean and Matt are glad that's closed out. Finally.
Seems like a long time to finish up the punch list. Was there anything in particular?
The last remaining item was the operation and maintenance manuals that they just hadn't provided to us yet.
Oh.
Wow. Okay.
So a delay with the metering technology for reporting.
Mm-hmm.
The initial items they installed did not work properly. So we had to go with a different route on them, and that extended the time on the project.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So we got a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Almond,
Yes.
Burnett,
Yes.
Calgery,
Yes.
Drost,
Yes.
Ocean,
Yes.
Okay, that passes. Item C. This is to consider a resolution authorizing pay application number 3 in the amount of $6,237.10 to Jetco Incorporated. This is for final completion of the Southwest Wastewater Treatment Facility electrical improvements. So they've completed the final punch list on that. It involved repairs and upgrades to the analyzer and control panels at the Southwest Wastewater Treatment Facility and to the control equipment and PLC systems at the M Street lift station. Project was accepted by the council as substantially complete on October 4th of 2021. Final punch list items now been completed. Final contract amount is $89,315.55, which is a net increase of $20,359.55 from the amount awarded at the May 18th, 2020 council meeting. The pay request number 3, it's in the amount of $6,237.10. That releases the remaining retainage and also accepts the final completion of the project. Do we have a motion of support?
Move. Second.
Okay, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Burnett,
Yes.
Calgery,
Yes.
Drost,
Yes.
Ocean,
Yes.
Almond,
Yes.
Okay, that passes. Item D. This is to consider approval of pay application number 5. It's the final one in the amount of $6,500 to Josiah Optograph for the Edmondson Park Masonry Work Project. Staff received the application from him for the park project. The project included work to repair the stone chimney, pillars, and walls, and replacing the rotten structural timber. The final contract amount of $43,250 is unchanged from the original contract. However, staff made changes to the scope of the work performed due to field conditions requiring additional work on the masonry walls. Total cost breakdown to date is listed in our agenda here. Do we have a motion of support for this payment of $6,500?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. What was the additional work done? I'm sorry. Anybody else want to talk first?
So the walls, there should be some photographs associated. Is there it should be the
PDF.
the masonry walls in the front of the shelter. You go
Next.
I think maybe the next.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that, if you look at the walls right adjacent to the stairs in the left picture, that's the before picture, and you can see that the walls are leaning.
Yeah.
We were hoping, the plan that we had for these was to right those walls and keep them as the original ones that they are. Unfortunately, as we got into it, it became clear that those walls were not going to continue standing. There was no way to salvage them original way they were. So we salvaged all the stone, we set a new concrete wall to center it, and then we kind of created a facade using the stones to create the same image that we have. It's the same stone that was there, mostly maybe a few pieces replaced with the like product. But that was the primary expense that changed. The thing that we ended up not doing is that the stairs that are adjacent to there, you can see those are the same stairs that were there. So that was originally planned to be done as part of this project. Instead, it's going to be a future phase of the work.
Okay. So that was able to keep the same contract. Got it. Okay. Timbers look good.
Yeah, we're very happy with the work that was performed. So.
Yeah. And Josiah's done work for us before. I mean,
Yes, he's
and
done.
really good quality work.
Yeah, he's done several phases of the masonry.
He probably should have done the work out there that he didn't do.
But now,
We're targeting. This shows a couple of places we're targeting for the next phase as well. There's essentially we're hoping to be done with Shelter D as a part of the previous phase, but it became clear there was just too much work. So this year we have money allocated towards masonry work as well. We're going to try and finish that shelter up so that it's complete, and then start targeting some of the other areas where we've got stone work that we want to work on.
Other comments from council?
Looks nice.
Okay.
and it's some good photos.
Yeah. Okay. Roll call, please.
Caliger.
Yes.
Dross.
Yes.
Ocean.
Yes.
Almond.
Yes.
Burnett.
Yes.
Okay, that passes. Gets us to item E. This is to consider a resolution approving the site plan for a recreation and entertainment facility on lots 1 and 2 of Gateway Commercial Park subdivision. So it is an application for a new recreation entertainment facility to be located in the coal mine loop at Gateway Commercial Park subdivision. 3.4 acres, currently vacant and zoned HC, which is highway commercial. The proposed 46,000 square foot facility, currently referred to as the Oskaloosa Entertainment Venue, includes a bar and grill and restaurant with indoor and outdoor seating, a 3-screen movie theater with concessions, 2 tennis courts, 4 pickleball courts, and 3 golf simulators. Construction expected to begin in fall and opening in late 2024. Facility to be developed and managed by Evolve Hospitality, the same entity that manages the adjoining Fairfield Inn. Submittal is reviewed by city staff, meets all applicable zoning and development requirements. I understand there's a presentation on this as well.
There is. So since Sean is not here tonight, he's on vacation, I am going to attempt this. Just kidding. So in the slideshow, in the presentation, there is just, you have the map and then you have the drawings of what it's going to be. So I will slowly click through these. And you really can't see it, it's kind of small. I can try and so you have your movie theaters over here. Correct me if I'm wrong back there.
Doing great.
And then, see, and I can't even see here, I'm sorry.
Alex, do you want one of them to get up and help you?
Yeah, I will. So, that's in the presentation, so you have, yeah, the drawings. And then, like Mayor said, I mean, 46,000 square foot facility, bar and grill, outdoor, indoor seating, 3-screen movie theater, 2 tennis courts, 4 pickleball courts, 3 golf simulators, and hoping to open late 2024. So, if you guys have any questions, Ross, or do I have to stop here? I'll answer them for you.
Can we go back to the layout with the movie theaters and the courts on it? Yeah, so do we need to worry about the movie theaters making too much noise for the people on the courts? the boom of the sound system?
Is there
Just a quick walkthrough while she's got that pulled up. I'll just Vanna White for a minute. So two tennis courts on the left-hand side. The 4 pickleball courts are at the top of the screen. In the center in front is the restaurant, and attached to that is the 3 golf simulators. On the other side of the screen, and the top is the movie theaters. That's kind of where all folds together.
Okay. And then it looks like the trendy thing with movie theaters now is the luxury seating sort of approach. So boy,
That's the plan.
talk about a great date night.
Yeah.
So what's that at the bottom, where it says flex and entertainment? Below the dining room tables there?
Our concept with that is indoor lounge.
Can you come to the microphone and talk about that a little bit?
Yep, you bet. I'm a little taller, sorry. The flex seating at the bottom is basically soft seating couches, larger tables, things like that. And then that spills into the front, which is a patio area.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Okay. Rough number of seating for the restaurant?
I think it's slated for around 200.
Okay. Okay, good size. Okay, sorry.
So you do to answer your question about the movie and pickleball course, there is like a barrier in between the two.
Okay.
The office, the kitchen.
Very good.
Looks like a maintenance room there. So.
Okay. Lisa, you had a question.
Yes, is this all managed, owned by one entity, or are different people going to be, is it more entrepreneurial, so there'll be one person owning the theater, another the restaurant, another,
One
so-
owner and one operator. Right.
Okay. One owner, one
So
operator.
we'll be in charge of the whole thing, if that's your question.
Right,
Yep.
okay, so there's one business owns the entire, okay. Because that's what I had heard rumor, and I'm a great movie goer
Yeah.
in that. I mean, absolutely, I can tell you more about movies and whatnot. And I heard rumor, oh, they're closing down the theater, and they just put in the expensive seats. I'm like, what? You know? So is that theater going to be there anymore, or? You know,
I'm
'cause
not-
rumor was saying, oh, they're tearing that down and building out here, and then no.
I'm not
they'll be-
sure. I'm not sure exactly what the timing looks like.
Okay.
But this one will be open, I believe, before anything else is gone. So there will be no lapse, I don't think, in timing.
Okay, so, but will there still be that theater? Will we have two theaters in town?
I think
or
just one is the plan.
Just one, okay. Because I was wondering on that. The question is, and I don't know if we've done any survey, it's a lot of space to go to tennis courts. And when my cousin was here last summer, and he's a huge tennis buff, you know, you want to get him started, he just about started to cry when he saw the Wood Iron Grill tennis courts made into a parking lot. And I know tennis courts were really big in the 70s. I don't know what, you know, like, that's a lot of space for two courts when pickleball is like booming, and pardon the pun, it's, you know.
Yeah, we think the pickleball is going to be very well represented, and I think it'll be very popular. I think there is a base for tennis.
Okay,
And
I'm a little
certainly some.
skeptical, we're not
Well,
Wimbledon. We're not Wimbledon.
And to be, that's true.
I'm gonna play.
Are you gonna play? Okay.
Well, and we lost our indoor tennis courts, so that
Right.
those people have now either had to go to the high school.
And there's
or
gonna be
go
other
to
people from
Pella.
other communities
So-
gonna be coming here
Correct.
too. So
Yep.
it's not just
Yeah.
Oskaloosa.
Correct.
There's
That's the
others.
hope, anyway.
And then there used to be a
Yeah.
tennis.
So is it typically, is this the sort of facility that is close to a Fairfield Inn or other Marriott properties then, so the
I
folks
don't know
staying
if this
there?
facility exists anywhere else on Earth.
Oh, really?
It's definitely a melting pot, and I think obviously the hotel has it'll be a good pairing for both. Okay,
Right.
so if you're staying at the hotel, you can walk across the
Sure,
street,
sure.
get something to drink, watch a movie, play golf, whatever you'd like to do, and then vice versa. So if you're coming to this facility for whatever event, need you to stay overnight, obviously there's good compliment back and forth.
And I've said this, Russ, and I'm old now, but when I ran for city council, you hear a lot from younger people having things to do. So pickleball is huge. I go down
Oh,
south,
yeah.
it's huge.
Oh,
My
yeah.
sister's on a league, she's very serious. The restaurant bar is huge. The movie theater is huge. It's a very big need for this community. Very big. I hear it. Food, entertainment, I hear it all the time.
Yes, please.
I hear it all the time. So thank you.
Yeah, 'cause
Thank
it's
you.
nice. It's almost
I hear it
like go for a drink
nonstop.
after you've gone to the movie. I mean, and I'm not young, but
I
but
think
those
it's
are
gonna be
indoor
a
courts.
big- I think
though.
it's gonna be
Pickleball
a-
and the
Everything's
tennis
indoor.
court. That was my last question on the courts.
And pickleball, fastest growing sport in the nation right now,
Right.
and in every age bracket.
Right.
From
And
10 to.
in some communities, is it's causing noise ordinance issues. But we won't have that here, right?
By the freeway for crying
Right.
out loud.
There's just a big article in the New York Times, you know, these neighbors are like, I never thought I'd live next to a
When you
pickleball."
mentioned the noise associated with pickleball, the funny thing is when you get in conversation with tennis people and pickleball people, and the tennis people don't want to hear the pickleballs.
Oh.
They don't want to hear that noise associated with pickleball, and you know, so I think there's a nice dividing wall between the two parts to where the tennis people won't have to hear the wiffle balls
Well,
being
you
hit
can
with
get
the
that
bat.
soundproof drywall,
Yep.
you know. Lots of that. That sounds incredible.
Bob,
Bob
might be one of those.
I never thought
Thank
that.
you. No, that's awesome. So
appreciate
much
it. Thank
we
you.
need
Thanks
it.
for your consideration. folks.
Sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Okay. Now, what's before us is a resolution approving the site plan. Now, and as I look at the council chairs, I think we've got 2 folks that might need to abstain from this vote. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, so that leaves 3, which is not a majority of the council.
Yep.
And so, I guess it automatically tables if there isn't a quorum, and so we'll see this on the next agenda. Okay, so moving on, that's it for the agenda then. Reports from city staff, city manager, anything?
No, thank you.
Okay,
She's been gone.
yeah,
She looks arrested.
that's surprising. Amy, anything?
No, sir, thank you.
Okay, Dave?
Nothing, thank you.
Okay, council member Steve?
Yeah, I got a couple things real quick. So I have 2 things, and then I wanted to address the first comments tonight about the water outage real quick. I think the water went out maybe middle of the night, 2 or 3 in the morning, and was back on by mid-afternoon on Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody needs to correct me if that's wrong, but I felt really good about that whole thing, that it was so quick to come back on with such a large break, right? I think it's important for everybody to understand that the water department does not report to the city manager in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
So I think that's important to understand. And then I want to, I guess, defend the city manager. I don't know that I really need to, but I'm just going to say that the city manager was engaged in the execution of fixing that problem. That's why it got done so quickly. Instead of standing in front of a camera, she was getting the problem fixed. So I'm going to say kudos to our city manager. 2 other things I got. One is that we got a letter. So we contribute to Forest Cemetery.
Right.
And I thought it'd be nice for you to understand what that means. I'll read a letter that Forest Cemetery received from a customer. I'm on the board. So it says, I was in Iowa a couple of months ago for the first time in a few years. My heart was warmed by the beauty of the cemetery. I have several family members buried there. I visited several other cemeteries from Marshall to Wapello counties, and Forest was by far the most well-maintained. The extra work shows the honor and respect shown to those buried there and their families. Thank you to the maintenance workers and the board of directors for the work they do. And this says, once again, thank you. So, and that was from a lady, I don't know that I'll use her name because I didn't ask if I had permission to use her name, so I won't, but just thought that was kind of neat that she's comparing us to a few others, and she finds that we have a beautiful, and I would agree with her, we have a beautiful cemetery. So, and it's hard sometimes to cough up that $80,000 or $90,000 or whatever we do, but I mean, here's somebody that appreciates that, and I thought that was important, so. And then the last thing I'm going to talk about is some things that most people probably don't know about is the certified site. Mr. Drost has been working on that for probably over 2 years right now, kind of quietly. I don't know if Bob does anything quietly, but behind the scenes anyway. And bringing all parties together, and there were a lot of parties involved. I mean, whether it was the landowners to the city to the county to business folks. And quite frankly, I can't stress how big of a deal that is for the future of Oskaloosa. We stand no chance in all of a big business coming to town without it. With it, we at least stand a chance. Is it a guarantee we'll get one? Absolutely not. But it's an absolute guarantee we probably wouldn't get one if we didn't have it. So I just wanted Bob to get a little recognition because I thought he did a really outstanding job.
absolutely.
So thank you, Bob. Appreciate it.
Yep.
That's all I got.
Okay, thank you, Steve.
Yep.
Rhonda?
I'll bounce off of what Steve said. I got elected a year and a half ago, and I can't tell you how many times people have said to me, I really wish we could do something about the water lines and the water this and what. We have not owned the water department in 123 years. 100 years. We don't own it. We don't operate it. We don't tell them what to do. They don't show up, obviously, at meetings. And I can't tell you how many people, and I'm not kidding you, when we had both of these breaks, were madder than hell that the city didn't do anything. I'm like, first thing I did was got online and looked at the water department's website and seen what they were doing. obviously I work for Mid-American, so the call came in at like 2:35 in the morning or whatever it was, but it just frustrates the hell out of me. We don't own it. We don't have anything to do with it. If you want to, I don't want to give out Kelly's numbers. If you want to argue about the water department, I'm sure he'll take phone calls. If you want to complain about things, find out what the truth is before you start complaining about things. It's infuriating. Same thing with the 3-lane conversion and the road. I drive down the same South Market. We don't own that road. It's not ours. We don't maintain it. We don't fix it. It's a DOT. I'll give you their number too. I can post it on my website. I can't tell you how many times I have to tell people, and they look at me and they don't believe me. They don't believe, and I'm like, it's not ours. We have to take care of enough. We have enough to take care of. We have enough to take care of. So please get your facts straight. I'm not going to address the whole thing about the city manager, other than to say that I can't believe that people, when we hire people to do a job. When I sat on the panel, I hired her to do a job. I looked at her background, I looked at her knowledge, at her experience, and I'm going to tell you right now, we were completely lucky to get her, and I still feel that way. People don't judge me about my kids or I'm hired to do a job. If I want to know about her personal life, I can take her out to dinner. I base my knowledge, and I back this lady 110%, and I really wish that people knew how hard you worked. It's just mind-boggling. So just keep it professional. She's here to do a job.
Bob? Done? As Steve said, with Certified Site, tomorrow morning's a big day. Tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock at the bandstand, weather permitting. Debbie Durham from the Iowa Economic Development Authority will be here to present, to officially award us the certification for that site. It's been a long 2+ pushing 3 years that we've been working on that, and again, it goes along with other comments or conversation we've had about development. Development is not a swift process, and doing things to encourage development or make your community more marketable take time as well. So it's been a long time coming, a lot of struggles, a lot of really tough conversations. That's 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. If it's raining, I believe it's scheduled to be moved to the Environmental Learning Center. But great opportunity for the community for the future. And also thank you to everyone at the city that's been involved. Thank you to everybody at the county and the chamber and all the landowners who have participated in it. Great opportunity for the city.
Joe?
I'm good. They said everything. So.
Sorry, Joe.
It's all right.
Lisa, how about you?
I received an email, and I wasn't sure if anyone else on the council had received. It was about the sewer rates. And did anyone else receive that?
Yes,
okay, so I didn't know if that was a group and addressing frustration. And again, I was a little confused when I first moved here, because I pay attention to the bills. My husband does not, okay? Except when the water goes out, and then he accuses me of not paying the bill. So I was looking online at 2 in the morning when that thing happened, because I was being blamed for it. I paid the bill, and now I'm on automatic payment, so. But I didn't understand on the bill where there's water, and this is the email, and where there's sewer. And I didn't know, if there's another charge wrapped into that, or if there's a way to break that out, or so that it's more clear, because you pay more for the sewer than you do for the water, which intuitively seems kind of odd, I just sort of wondered on that. But anyway, I hope that she still waters her plants and things like that. I just wanted to say, there's so much in life that when things are going right, you just don't see it, And I love getting your LinkedIn. I learn more sometimes about the community. Ben has the best LinkedIn account, and always different photos, and very informative. And you did a very nice chart on the accidents and that, and using that. And I've seen it save a life, where a drunk was trying to cross the road and that. So we don't see, we can mark how many accidents, but we don't see how many things didn't happen. You know, accidents are avoided. So I thought of that when you gave the stats and all of the things you did in the police department. But there's all of the other things where you didn't arrest somebody, and you didn't have this, and this didn't happen because things were taken care of nicely. Same with the fire department. How many hazards were avoided so that we don't know about them? And then same at the library. You know, there's so much behind the scenes when that book gets checked out, and then flash of epiphany goes on, and you know, all of that. So I wanted to say kudos to all of that. Same with the bills being paid at city council and that. We just never know when things are going smoothly and nicely and problems are being taken care of, and we go, oh, that's natural. It's like, no, that's not natural. It's a lot of hard work. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to the county fair after this. There's like another whole world going on over there. First time I was here, I was like, oh my goodness. So there's lots going on in this town, but I am so happy to see that there's going to be 3 movie theaters. So anyway, on that note, I think I'm it.
Okay. Well, thank you. And just to finish up, that there has been, Bob touched on it, that there has been work going on behind the scenes for years. And it's been frustrating because, you know, we are making efforts. Talented people are making efforts to try to do things well. And it is multi-year sometimes in getting that done. The insistence on quality work, that sort of thing. And then it can be disheartening to see the negative, the criticism that comes because things aren't going fast enough. But yet, we insist on quality work done. We insist on getting things done right. And now we're on the tip of it, where we're seeing the entertainment facility is one of them. We're seeing the certified site is another. There's more coming. That a number of things are wrapping up, and we're going to have a tremendous amount of positive news here in the next few months. And so I want to say a big thank you to everyone in the community that's part of the encouragement and part of the solution to make Oskaloosa what it is today.
Another big milestone, if I'm not mistaken, August 1st, the recreation center opens for the
Yes.
recreation side of the facility,
Yeah,
if I'm not
that's what I was
mistaken.
thinking of.
Is that the first?
Is it August 1st?
It's August 1st.
Maybe I shouldn't have said that yet. It's coming. I mean, it's coming. So we're getting
It's
closer all the
coming.
time to the recreation facility opening.
Yeah,
so.
what I have to clarify is there's been no announcement of that sort.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's coming. So yeah.
But it appears to be close.
But
Yeah.
talk about working behind the scenes to make that happen. I mean, all the stuff
Oh,
that goes
man.
on to make stuff happen
Yeah, there was
is
a movie
unbelievable.
van in front of the Y this afternoon. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
but
Sweet Corn Serenade also is July 27th. too,
that's
Mayor.
right.
Oh, yeah.
27th as well. And then to touch on the certified site, again, 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. There will be dignitaries there, and even more importantly, refreshments afterwards.
Oh, that's more important.
So,
No, I'm not
with that, do we have a motion to adjourn? So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned.